Well, another good Friday morning to you. How are you folks out there today? I am just hunky-dory myself. Let me get my first cup before I just pull this off the stove. Hey, let it cook a little too long. She's awful looking black. Alright. Way we like it though. Wake me up faster. Well, you can hear the crows. Listen. Oh, they're chasing a hawk. Hear my neighbor's dog. I don't know what his problem is. So, I guess you've seen the headlines and you're wondering what we're going to be talking about today. Honestly, I've thought about this all week. I'm really not sure where I'm going with this. Other than I really hate liars. And earlier in the week, or starting last week, we were forecasted to have a dusting to an inch of snow at the most. Even up to about 8 to 10 hours before the front got here, the storm got here, inch at the most. Some parts out west will give a little bit more. Don't expect a whole lot. We got the most snow that we've had in 7 years. And here we got about 4.5 inches. Back around Tulsa, I think they got around 5, 6, maybe even 7 inches. So, yeah, what happened to that dusting to inch? Well, the computer models changed. Ren. I love Lou. She always comes around. I guess it's she or he, I don't know. She's checking out the stove, see if there's any bits in the frying pan she can get out. No, baby, the mean old possum came last night and knocked the pan off the stove and everything, so I'm going to take care of him. He's become a real nuisance. So anyway, and a few days later we were supposed to get some more. Oh, I know. Oh, we're going to get a few more additional inches on top of what we already got. Then we got dusting. I mean, weathermen are, I've said this for years, are one of the few people who can be wrong all the time and still keep their jobs. I've always thought about doing a study of tracking how accurate weathermen are. And over the years, they've got worse. I think they go to school for at least 6 years to be weathermen, meteorologists. How can you go to school that long for something and be that wrong and still get paid? You know why? I think they go for 6 years to read a computer screen and run a model. Because, like hurricane season. Well, this hurricane, the models say it's going to hit New Orleans, but one model says it might hit Pensacola. This other model says that it might hit Corpus Christi. So, someplace between Corpus Christi and Pensacola, we think this hurricane's going to go. But most of the models are saying towards New Orleans. And then it hits Brownsville. I just can't stand. I hardly ever watch the weather anymore. I look online and usually make my own mind up, Just and we've got several that been in the weather business for years here, decades here, and they just exponentially get worse at forecasting. Tornadoes. Oh, we've got so good at forecasting and predicting tornadoes. Here's what happens. Like last year. Not here, but before I moved here. One night we get a tornado warning. Okay. Turn on the TV because I'm wanting to see where this tornado is and why sirens are going off. The thing's 60 miles away. 60 miles away. This tornado, y'all, is over here and it's going to go someplace in this cone, 100-mile wide cone. We think it's going to go. Missed us totally. Missed the town totally. Went about 30 to 35 miles south of us. But yet, we got the tornado warning. And for the last, probably I'd say 5 years or more, that happens all the time. The thing will be 40, 50, 60 miles away, and they go, okay, you're in the cone. And so all the tornado sirens start. And it may be a shower by the time it gets to us, or it may like miss us by 40 miles. But what happens when you start hollering woof all the time and nothing happens? There ain't no woof. Same things happen now. People just getting forget it. Tornado warning, that thing's 50 miles away. You don't tell them where it's going to go. And that's what people do. I'm going to go back watching Netflix. I don't know. I just, they go to school for 6 years to tell you what the computer model says. And we got one that really cracks me up in Tulsa. Well, the high tomorrow is going to be 50 degrees, but the computer model says the high for tomorrow is going to be 50, but I feel it's going to be a little bit lower than that. But here I have 50 up on the board. Well, if you feel it's going to be low, why don't you put what you feel is going to be the temperature instead of just blindly following a computer model? Oh, man. So, I don't know. Yeah, I've got politicians and journalists on that list, Google should be on the list of liars. Google, I was talking with somebody the other day, Google only shows you what Google wants you to see. People think, like the possum. If y'all seen my possum video someplace here? I could not find that study anywhere. Was there last year? No, the company may have pulled it down, which I think they probably did. But usually when there's things like that, there's enough other people save that that resource, whether it's a PDF or whatever, they'll save it. And I've been working with search engines since the late 90s. And I've seen Google go from, if they search for, let's say you search for, I don't know, dressmaker in my area near me, you would get mom and pop dressmakers near you. But what happens now when you go, you get Amazon, dresses on Amazon, you get dresses from Michaels or dressmaking materials, and all this except for dressmakers. And why Google did that, because they know mom and pop's going to pay for advertising for their business in most cases. So that made them more money. That made them make mom and pop have to spend money to get noticed on, instead of having organic results. And they now have to pay for AdWords. And those clicks, some of those clicks can be, depending on what business you're in, can be really expensive. When I had a home inspection business in Houston, I was paying up to $10 to $12 a click. Okay, that got expensive real quick. So luckily, I also knew enough about search engines to rank my own website then. But so, there are alternatives like DuckDuckGo out there that don't track your privacy, private information, stuff like that. But Google is a liar. Google will show you only what they want you to see. Trying to think of some things. Facebook, same way. Look what happens if you mention the election. Bam, you get this thing on your post. Well, the election, the AP has declared Joe Biden winner of the 2020 elections or something. Why would you infringe upon my post that way? You're so afraid that people may think outside the box and think for themselves that you've got to start throwing this stuff up. Google kind of does that too. YouTube does that. If you think you're getting the accurate information off those three, you're and others, you know, MSNBC and stuff like that, you're sadly mistaken. Yeah, forget it. This. Everybody loves to talk about, oh, how the Mennonite and the Amish, they're taught quality and all this. No, I love them. We got a big community near us. I have a store, and so I came back from the store, the grocery store the other day, and I forgot to buy coffee. So I stopped by the Mennonite store to get coffee, and it's like $3 a bag. I went, wow, really? That's cheap, name brand stuff, you know. I started looking at the date, and it, you know, best if used by March of 2020. Oh, okay, that was about 9 months ago, but hey, it's coffee. It's cheap coffee, cheap name brand coffee. And I got to look, and most of their stuff is damaged or outdated stuff. Which, if you're dealing with canned goods, it doesn't matter. But, I just found that kind of funny. Politicians, oh man, they're probably just as bad as weathermen. What do y'all think? I mean, I don't know. This is more of a rant than anything else. That snow we got the other day, well, I kind of loved it, but it kind of threw a wrench into plans and stuff. I hate when you plan something around what the weatherman says, and it, you know, this morning, supposed to have 10 to 20 mile-an-hour winds. I was going to go hunting. I seen, cool. I'm not sitting out there in deer stand 10, 20 mile-an-hour winds. It's just now, what is it, 9 o'clock, 9:30, picking up a little bit. This morning, calm as ever. One good thing though about my bird feeder stuff, that snow, it brought all the birds. I should have just took it down. Stood. If y'all can't eat it unless it snows, you can't go and eat it when it snows. No, I love it. Mostly it's been chickadees and titmouse. Although I did see a blue jay dive bomb one of the titmouse the other day, but he didn't stay and eat. No, the blue jays are out there with the crows eating corn at the feeder. Oh, yeah, it's real strong this morning. That's good. So, in politicians, I've told y'all before, luckily he's not my representative, but Mark Wayne Mullins, when he ran for office here in Oklahoma. If I'm elected twice is all I will ever run. I'll come back and go to work. That's the first time he ran. I will not run for more than 2 terms. Okay, Mark, what was that, about 5 terms ago now? Liar? I don't trust you. You can't keep your word. I'm glad you're not my representative, because if you was, I wouldn't vote for you. You know, how many times now, especially this year, but really up the years leading up to this, but how many times have politicians been caught in lies and just, they blow it off? Why? People don't care. They won't see what their friends are doing on Facebook and stuff like that. They don't care. They say they do, but like people with Mark Wayne Mullen, they'll go vote for him again. Well, he's better than the other guy. How do you know? The other guy hasn't lied unless he's been caught on record lying. I mean, I can understand sometimes someone misspeaking and stuff. I misspeak a lot, or, you know, my mouth gets ahead of my brain, or vice versa. But when you just flat out lie, like, if I'm elected, I swear I will not run more than 2 terms. Then, when they called on it, well, the people really want me. Well, the people are lazy voters, okay? No, they don't really want you, but they're voting for a party, so they'll vote party. And that's what we get. So, you know, sometimes I think in this country, as far as politicians and stuff, we get what we deserve. Because there's people who vote straight party ticket that don't care about. Oh, I'm a R or I'm a D. Oh, I vote straight ballot. Oh, okay. So we covered Google's liar. Politicians, we all know they're liars. Journalists, you know, liars too. I mean, I'm old enough to remember when the news was reported, they reported the real news. They didn't interject their opinion into it. Once again, how long did you go to school to be a journalist? 6 years, 8 years? And now, instead of giving me the facts, you want me to give your opinions. Well, I don't give two rat's butt about your opinion. Just give me the facts. I'm old enough and smart enough to form my own opinion about things. I don't need your opinion. Your job is to present the facts, not your opinion. But now, it is okay to uh, interject your opinion as fact in journalism. That's why journalists, their reputations have gone up over used car salesmen and real estate agents. You're a bunch of liars. No one will trust you anymore. Well, there's probably still a few people who blindly trust you. Well, did you hear on the news? Oh, there's aliens coming. They landed over outside of Denver. So, and the thing is, we allow that. As a citizenship, we allow that. We don't hold journalists, weathermen, politicians, and companies like Google accountable for their crap. We just, well, it's just too much trouble. I could go see what's on Netflix. I gotta go see what Susie posted for dinner on Facebook. You know, that girl's always cooking something. That's why I moved out here off grid. And sadly now, I'm thinking I didn't move far enough out. Have any of y'all ever felt like that moved off grid? You know, I will have an upcoming video probably next week about the Sean James thing. If y'all don't know who Sean James is, he has two channels, Sean James, and he has My Self-Reliance. Awesome guy, as far as I can tell. I've never met him in person, but awesome channels. You know, he has the I spent 2 years alone in the wilderness video, which is got like 21 million views. But there was something that happened to him, or several somethings, and you know, while I haven't had that exact thing, I have something close, and I could see it one day being a problem. And now I'm thinking I need to move farther out. I love my place here. I love it. So, you know, if y'all ever felt like you moved and you needed to move farther out, see, I mean, I can hear that dog barking, I can hear this dog barking. But they're still over 300, about 300 or so yards away, according to Onyx Maps, and when I do the map, mine distance. And I can see my neighbor now with all the leaves fall. I barely see them at night. I can barely see this, and I can see their security lights, you know, their mercury lights, whatever. So anyway, I'm sure we're getting on up there. I just wanted to get this off my chest about liars, liars, liars. Weathermen, politicians. I mean, I could add a whole bunch more to it. Real estate agents, I could add a whole bunch more, but pretty much weathermen really get my goat especially this week. That snow just kind of threw a wrench into a lot of my plans. So, you know, we're talking weathermen, politicians, journalists, and companies like Google and Facebook. Liars, liars. They want to, not necessarily weathermen in this group, but Google, Facebook, politicians, journalists, they want to get you to thinking a certain way. They want to tell you how to think and what to think. And when they can do that and you buy that stuff, then it's easier to control you. And that's really what it comes down to. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. But I was talking to somebody yesterday, and I'm not sure how much of this I buy. I'd say quite a bit of it, maybe not all of it. But they said that JFK went against the establishment and tried to break that establishment up, whether you call that the dark government or whatever, that higher echelon up, and he paid for it with his life. They pointed out that Reagan tried to do that to an extent, and he got a bullet. He lived. They pointed out that Trump tried to do that, and look what happened there. Okay, I can see that in every instance. I don't remember JFK. I wasn't alive then, but I do remember Reagan and the stuff that he. I mean, yeah, he made mistakes. Every freaking president, from George Washington on up, has made mistakes. But I really think Ronnie really sincerely tried the best for the country. I can't say that about every president we've ever had, because I know it's not true. But I think Ronnie, he loved America, and he was trying to do what was best for Americans, and he nearly paid with it with his life. So anyway, just keep that in mind. That's why I moved off grid. Try to get as far away as I can, so things like that doesn't affect me as much. One thing I've always loved was Alaskans said, I've always heard Alaskans say, we really don't care what happens in Washington because it's so far away. It doesn't affect us, and if it's going to affect us, it affects us so slow because we're so far away. And that's one thing that's always lured me. I hadn't been to Alaska yet. Hopefully I'll get there one day. But it has always made that a lure to move there. Move out there in the bush, leave me alone. That's why I'm asking here, just leave me alone, let me do my thing. But let's sit here all day and drink your old coffee. Anyway, guys and gals, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Help the channel out by sharing my videos. If you come across one of my other videos that you think somebody, your friends or something, or if you're on the forum, Facebook, whatever, help it out by sharing. So, Donald, 1 Acre Homesteader. Don't forget to check out the blog. I need to update it. I know I got so much stuff going on. I'm in the process now of wiring the cabin. Yeah, I know it's been 6 months and I'm still not done. And it's not much wiring. The reason I hate it is deciding where to put all the outlets. Oh, I just hate it because I know sooner or later I'm going, once I get it done, I wish I'd put an outlet over here, or I wish I hadn't put that outlet there. I just got to get it done. So anyway, hope y'all have a blessed weekend and an awesome weekend, and I hope you get better coffee than this, but this is better than no coffee. Donald. Catch you on the next video. One thing about it being cold outside, coffee cools off pretty quick. Oh, that stuff is Ellie Mae Black right there. Need to wash my cup too. Okay, I'm going in and get warm.